think of everybody else that you're protecting as well. It's the same thing with the masks and social distancing and everything else with the vaccination. You're protecting yourself, you're protecting other people. Hi, it's Nani. Welcome to the Chronicles of Nani. Today we're going to talk about, I could give you some buzzwords to freak you out. 2020 and COVID-19. That's not really. We're going to talk about coffee and coffee mugs and vaccines. First, my sip of coffee. My favorite Verona as usual. That's not my coffee mug. This is David's coffee mug. It's his hero's mug. If you take a look at the mug, it's very much a someone who writes the news type of mug, because news people, especially in 2020, were battling so many things just to get their work done. I know some of the scariest things were David was sent out to cover an anti-mask rally, which of course is very dangerous for me, because of course you wear a mask to protect other people, and if other people are not wearing a mask, they are not protecting you. So I was very concerned about him not being too close to somebody who refused to wear a mask, because this whole COVID thing is a joke and it's not real. And pandemic worldwide. I don't really know how you say that that's not real, but there were people that swore it's not real, we don't need to wear masks, and that was part of the news, and it was part of the dangerous part of the news for people who worked in that field. So what I mean by that's David's hero's mug is last year, between May and June, I actually purchased and gave away 12 mugs. These were to people that were members of my family, of friends and relatives, who were frontline and essential workers that had to be out, didn't have the luxury of staying home and working, that had to be out and around people that may follow all the rules of wearing a mask and social distancing, may not. It was all brand new territory, and the people who refused to wear a mask were walking in the stores without a mask on. And I have family and relatives, friends, people that I know that are working in retail because they have an essential job. And there are people that are not respecting them by wearing a face mask, which you wear to protect other people, not to protect you, and not keeping that socially distant. 6 feet, honestly, when you have fewer people in a store, that's plenty of room. You don't have to be on top of an associate to say, I'm looking for this item. From 6 feet apart, you should be able to speak loud enough to hear each other, and remain safe. But I have heard some horror stories of customers practically climbing down and almost hugging family and friends that have worked in retail. And I had people that came into my home to help me. I had, aides and doctors, nurses that came to visit me at home because early on, the beginning of the second week of March, is when my doctor told me, I just don't want you to leave the house. I want you to limit the number of people that come into the house and don't leave the house yourself. You can go outside and get some fresh air. The end of your driveway is your limit. And I stuck to it because I didn't want to go out there. I mean, it almost sounds like it created a psychological problem that I had no interest in going outside in 2020 because I had read enough to be afraid of the world out there. What I did was I bought the dozen mugs between May and June, and I sent them out to my personal heroes. My cousin in Michigan, who is an RN, when she got her mug, she had a picture of herself holding her mug, and she sent it to me and said thank you. And that gave me the great idea that I wanted to do a scrapbook page of all of my heroes holding their heroes mugs. If I could find a mug that really catered to exactly what you did and were doing during the pandemic, I did. And if I couldn't find one that was exactly exactly mentioned your job or something, I still made sure that I was finding something appropriate for the times. So now you're looking at photographs of my heroes holding their mugs. Some of my heroes, the photos were taken here when they got their mugs. Some of them, they took their mugs home and they sent me photos of them holding their mug. But I did manage to get a picture of every person that I sent a hero's mug to holding their mug. The plan is, once things start to calm down a little bit for me, because they're still kind of crazy. Then again, that may just be me, and I'm kind of crazy all the time. Because I've said before, I'm disabled, and I'm still one of the busiest disabled people that I can think of. And it's because I've always been happy when I've been really busy. So I've still got to find a way to keep myself really busy so I can keep myself happy. And the vlog definitely represents me having a job. Now, the big, real positive thing about coronavirus that I want to talk about today is I got my first shot. So I've been half vaccinated with Pfizer, and I got that shot on St. Patrick's Day. That was my my green Irish eyes got my shot. My two bears that sit in the window for everyone to see with their masks on as they're walking by. Rudy Bear is the older of the two bears. He's got his shot now too. He didn't get a shot on St. Patrick's Day, but he got the green Band-Aid because teddy bears get cooler Band-Aids. I don't know. I'll use the rest of the Band-Aids that I bought for the express purpose of optimistically someday there will be a vaccine and the teddy bears will get vaccinated. So I did get my shot, my plain old beige Band-Aid. And my husband got his shot and a plain old beige Band-Aid. And we got an automatic card that tells us that what time we're supposed to come back on the 7th of April for our second shot. We got the Pfizer shots, which are first shot one day, and then 3 weeks later you get the second shot. There are also the Moderna shots. My dad got a Moderna shot. My aide got a Moderna. My friend in Texas got Moderna. So there's, and my niece, who is a therapist, also got both of her shots, but I don't remember which one she said she got. I don't know anybody who's gotten the Johnson & Johnson and only had one shot. And definitely if you've had that shot, feel free to leave that in the comments and let us know, well, I got this one and I had these kind of side effects or something. I know we went in, it was almost like a party type. Everybody lined up and everybody had a mask on, which I was pleased to see. And he and I were not the only ones that had statement masks on. He wore his the mask goes over the nose mask, and I wore my MS Warrior mask. And there were other people that had different colors or different sayings, logos, stuff like that on their masks. I appreciate that, because if it's something you have to do, and I've said this so many times, if you gotta do it anyways, make it personal, make a statement, make it yours. Don't make it something that you have to do. Make it fun. I was all excited, thinking if it's the 7th for us, and it should be the 8th for my dad, and then I can make an appointment at Cleveland Clinic anything after the 9th. And the doctor said, slow down. She said 2 weeks after you get the second shot, you can go out after 2 weeks. So I'll wait till after 2 weeks. But the first thing that I want to do is, it's been 5 years and I can have a new wheelchair. I need to go to Cleveland to have a physical therapist at the Mellon Center, get all the paperwork done and everything for my new wheelchair. So I have to wait till then. And insurance told me that, well, you can see a physical therapist and start doing the paperwork now, when I called them in January. So I'm really looking forward to getting out and getting that paperwork done, because after 5 years, you reach the point where there are things that you weren't planning on happening 5 years later that may or may not have happened, and they make the chair less comfortable to sit in. That's sort of where I'm at now with the chair. So we got me in the wheelchair van, and I got to actually leave the driveway. In fact, I left our street and went down another main street, and I took a little bit of video just because this is the first time in an entire year that I have been out of the house. And it was also I made it an entire year and never left my house except to go outside and get a breath of fresh air, but not going too far away from the house. So after a year, it was kind of neat to be out to actually find myself in a large building with a bunch of other people. For the last year, a bunch has been, oh my gosh, there are 4 other people in the house. And that was like a huge party. And that was usually because the nurse and an aide and another aide and my husband were all home at the same time. Or in my home at the same time. And me, that makes 5 of us. Huge party. And now I find myself, I'm pulling into a parking lot with a ton of cars in it and people all over the place, and wow. So it was neat being out around a bunch of other people, everybody wearing masks, being smart. So we got in line and we got there to drop off our paperwork and be escorted over to where we get our shots. As David, who is completely healthy, said that he had just a nasty pain in the arm where he got the shot. That's the only side effect that he had. Now, my aide, who had the Moderna shot, said that she had a little bit of pain in the arm and a nasty headache after the first shot. And she said after her second shot, she had everything. It's like fever, aches, chills, feeling like she had the flu, and that was an all-day thing after the second shot. If anybody has had a second shot of Pfizer and you've had any after effects, any side effects, please leave those in the comments and let me know what I might expect. My dad had the Moderna, same as my aide. He didn't complain about any problems. He said, I got a shot. Because I asked him if he had any side effects. And he said, nope, I got a shot. That's all it felt like. And everything was fine. So it's something that's a little different for everybody. But like I said, I really welcome if you've had your vaccine or had half your vaccine, leave it in the comments. What shot you had? Did you have any side effects, after effects? What are the different things that are that can happen or that you've experienced? I don't know when we're going to reach that herd immunity that's going to say, everybody, you can take off your mask. If enough people who don't have reactions get that shot, it protects the people who can't get a shot. So if you're not having, life or death reactions to the shot, think of everybody else that you're protecting as well. It's the same thing with the masks and social distancing and everything else with the vaccination. You're protecting yourself, you're protecting other people. If you noticed when you saw the picture of Rudy Bear with his green Band-Aid on saying he got his shot, he's still wearing a mask. The smaller Don't Panic Bear, who's a little younger, hasn't gotten his shot yet, is still wearing his mask, and he and Rudy Bear are keeping the bear equivalent of social distancing. It's inches, not feet for bears, for teddy bears. But they are still keeping socially distant when they sit in the window. So just be smart and follow the rules. Don't think that, certainly don't think one shot, which is only half of the vaccine, is enough to take the face mask off. It's not. When you get the second shot, you still wear the face mask. So have you been vaccinated yet? What kind of vaccine did you have? Did you have any side effects? Share with us. Tell us what to expect if we haven't had the vaccine yet. Myself, I'm waiting to see what happens if there's another shoe to fall when I get my second Pfizer vaccine. Or if it's going to be better, worse, nothing the same. Play it smart. Get vaccinated. Don't take off the face masks until we have been absolutely assured that enough of us are vaccinated that we are safe. And make sure that you do everything that you can to keep everybody safe. Make sure that you subscribe and leave comments. I do comment back on every comment left, even if it's just to say, hey, thank you, I agree. Leave comments, subscribe, grow our community. Today was definitely something related to the pandemic. That isn't a chronic illness thing. That's something everybody needs to worry about. It's not just chronic illness. It's scarier for chronic illness, but it's scary for all of us. So I'm going to leave you today with the hope that we're going to be able to catch up and defeat this thing and start to resume some semblance of normalcy. And in the meantime, you can join me every Friday, 8 o'clock in the morning. I am here on YouTube, and if you join me on YouTube, we can have coffee together and chat. Or you can come to the Cyber Coffee Shop anytime. It's open 24/7, 365, except every fourth year, 366. And in the meantime, have a fantastic week. Have a healthy week. And I will see you for more coffee next week.